when Gillian when she finally went to see this doctor, I'm the one who didn't, that was the doctor I'd sent her to initially when she went and she didn't see. She went with Mom. I was working. I recall vividly, Mom called me and asked me to come. And because it wasn't too far, I was in Thika Road, and I was coming to Aga Khan. I drove like a mad person because I could tell the urgency in Mom's voice. And then when we saw the doctor, he's a fantastic doctor and everything, but dear God, he needs to know how to break news. He did not prepare us. He just, just put it out there and said that she has cancer. The biopsy had not been done, but because of experience, he could see the signs, and he asked us, I remember, to prepare to amputate her hand. And that was I felt it was a really an odd thing coming from a doctor. I remember my mom, being very calm about it, and I was a mess, I was wondering, my head was going into spin, wondering, what are we going to do?
I could tell something was not right because I could see it on my family's face, that they're not telling me something, because one of the doctors was a friend of the family, so I think he had already told them, but they're not telling me. And so you could see it on their faces, but I couldn't ask them, and so I was just waiting for them to tell me. And then the doctor now said that yes, you have bone cancer and all this, and he said that they would have to amputate my arm. And for a 20-year-old, that is much, because you have not yet lived your life, you have not gone to university, you have not done all the things a 20-year-old has done, you have not seen all those things. So I had a dream of being a lawyer, so you're thinking about that, you're thinking about not having an arm anymore. So that was hard. Then the doctor, who was a friend of the family, came and said that there's treatment in other countries where you might not have to amputate your arm. And he told my family that look at these countries. He gave them a list, and these are the options that you have. Look at them, and you might get treatment there that she might not have to amputate her arm, but you need to start chemotherapy. And so they started chemotherapy. So chemotherapy is treatment where you're given through a drip. And at that point, of course, I didn't know what that was, but that was the moment, after the first dose of chemotherapy, that was the moment I realized that I needed to educate myself on what is cancer, what is chemotherapy, what is bone cancer, what is this that I have, what are my options, am I going to live, am I going to die, what everything that they're saying, what is ahead of me. And so the first session that I had was one of the most horrible moments of my life, because I started losing my hair. I was so fatigued. It was painful. It was not supposed to be painful, which I learned later. I could not even walk. I could not leave the bed. I could not bathe myself. I was bleeding through the area of the surgery a lot, because when you're getting chemo and you have any cuts or an area that has surgery, then it tends to bleed more. So there was a lot to deal with. I was always fatigued, and I had to do 2 doses. So then I did the second dose. It was even worse.
And everybody kept on telling us, no, the osteogenic sarcoma is not a cancer that heals. Prepare to amputate her hand. And I remember my mom one day facing a doctor and saying, you know what, you're not God. So you can't keep on giving us this kind of prediction of what we should do. She was very firm and she was very faithful. That's the one thing I admire about my mother. Her faith doesn't waver. When everybody else was thinking, okay, maybe Gillian is going to die, my mom had faith in God, very simple faith in God. And I knew that I had to carry the mantle of trying to find a solution. So I'd wake up, I remember, at 4 or 3 a.m. to try and get to the office very early so I can use the internet and start searching for alternatives. Do osteogenic sarcoma people survive? What are the, you know, all this, we don't know, it's very new to us. So I started searching India. Then India was nobody knew about India. And God, guided me, and we found Apollo Hospital. We found, I have actually a whole file on the communication that we started having with these people.